of who you are, then you're a murderer in the sight of God. And so, what goes around comes around. What's fair is fair, right? So, you see, there's a lot of reasons why I don't believe in capital punishment. And that's definitely one of them. Plus, I say anybody that believes in capital punishment, then I say whoever's going to be the executioner, that decision goes in a lottery. Even Adam Smith pointed out that's like the worst job in the world, just to ask somebody to kill somebody for you and getting paid. Remember, you're hiring a killer. The public has a mob mentality, as a democracy is what they're calling it, right? It's a democratic rule of the people. Well, most of the people want capital punishment. So most of the people say, yeah, murder them, put them to death. Capital punishment, first degree, that, eye for an eye, right? It's only fair. It's only right. We want vengeance. Yes, of course we do. It's a deterrent. So, don't think about killing somebody. Has it ever acted like a deterrent? Did it deter this guy from killing these two cops? You understand? It's just, it's just madness, okay? It's just all madness. It's all satanic madness. And I want no part of it. I do believe in binding people hand and foot like they used to do. Now they put them in jail, behind bars. You cannot do this thing. You cannot be violent toward innocent people, the public at large. You can't do that. Yes, I agree with that. But it doesn't work, folks. And we've got to face that. And it costs a hell of a lot of money fighting it. All this money's going to attorneys and stuff, and we're all paying the price. So, anyhow, earlier I talked about how a revolt is in no way is a civil war. It's the opposite. Actually, it's a united people. All the true good liberals and all the true good conservatives coming together, all the true good socialists and all the true good capitalists coming together, unifying and being empowered and revolting private interests and public interests, governmental interests. We've got to tell them who's the boss, basically. Okay, we've got to parent them. Yeah, it's not a fun job, but it's got to be done because they're like snot-nosed, spoiled little brats, murderous brats. That's what they do. They're murderers. So, you don't want to be like that. You don't want to be the public and have to be a hired killer. But if you're going to be, if you are going to get in this capital punishment, then it should be a lottery system where if you say yes, you take a vote, then yes, check the box, I believe in capital punishment, then you are in that lottery. And if your name comes up, then there's no equivocating, there's no backing out of the deal. You signed a contract, you agreed, you're going to have to be the executioner. Okay, otherwise you're a hypocrite. Okay, you're like these people, love to eat your plenty of hamburgers and chicken and all this and pigs and pork and lamb and all this, but you don't want to work in a slaughterhouse. You would never do that, right? Okay, you're a hypocrite. Okay, so, I mean, I don't have a lot of regard for hypocrisy, to say the least. So, you know what? I mean, put your works where your mouth is. You believe in this, you behave like this, you speak like this, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and you got to fill those shoes of that duck, okay, all the way. Okay, so whatever you believe in, you got to go all the way. You got to be willing to perform that task and not expect somebody else to do your dirty work. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Google, YouTube, my opinion of these people and, their content. These people are on the hot seat constantly. They're getting pulled in different directions. They got the Southern Poverty Law Center, the most anti-Semitic group probably in the world. And this guy is this misnomer of calling them the poverty. So, poverty. Oh, I'm against poverty. I'm going to support these people. Look into what this money goes to. Look at these people. So I'm just saying, you investigate, you research for yourself what these people are all about. And you look at the people who are opposing. These are very establishmentarian, party line type people. And party line, I don't mean Democrat, Republican. These people are involved in all kinds of BS. Okay? So, listen, there's something that supersedes your stupid Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, socialist, capitalist division out there, and that is the moneyed interest. Do you understand? They don't give a crap about all that stupid stuff. That's panty waste nonsense to them. Money is the name of the game. That's why the Chamber of Commerce and the politicians, all these people collude together. It's a head count. They put an artificial demand on stuff. That's all it is with these refugees and the immigrants. What do you think? You think this artificial demand on the housing hasn't driven up housing costs? That's exactly what's done it. So this idea that they're just trying to get slave labor, cheap labor and all this, that's only just a little part of the story, folks. Just a little part. The main part is what nobody's talking about except me that I've heard. This artificial demand they put on stuff driving your cost of living tax up. So who's paying the price for all these refugees and immigrants? You are, I am, we all are. Understand how this thing works. It's a big, ginormous scam from the pit of hell. That's how you're being tyrannized, through your cost of living tax. The debasement of your currency. It's one and the same. Just like a scale, it's attached at the hips. Your cost of living goes up, the worth of your currency goes down. You understand how this thing works. It's not hard to understand. If you have an IQ above lukewarm, you can understand this thing I'm saying to you, and how they pull this scam off through market manipulation, price fixing, colluding special interest groups with the same interests. Do you understand? Forming one big fat ass hydra monopoly, oppressing the people. That's what's going on here. And oppression, if you think that's an archaic term, think again. Think again. You know, Google and YouTube allowed the truth about 9/11 to go forth. I mean, all these radical films, I mean, that are controversial, like Loose Change and all this. I mean, they allowed all this. So let's give Google and YouTube kudos for the good stuff they've done in regards of American values and free speech and all this. It's been good, but now they're being squeezed on all ends. So I kind of sympathize with them. I really do. And you know, they're just being pulled, and it's all about the moneyed interest. And so while I think there's, you know, it's just like any organization, there's black hats and there's white hats. And there's always infighting. And the government, it's the same thing. We got black hats and white hats. In the private industry, the same thing. But people are trying to, you know, say, I got to follow my peers, and I'm in this career. This is my industry, and I'm sorry, I don't like it, but you know what? This is how I make my bread and butter. This puts a roof over my head, takes care of my family. So I just go along to get along, go with the flow. Well, it's going to, you know, you're on that boat. You're on that ship of fools that's careening to destruction. So just remember that. So yeah, I get a lot of rewards for doing what I do in putting out these series of videos. I get you know, the satisfaction of getting stuff off my chest, for another thing. So I'm getting payment. I'm getting payment. Gladness of heart, peace of mind. I get stuff off my chest, and I'm fighting the good fight. And I want to be deserving and worthy to go to a better world. I want God to approve of me. That's it, man. And I want other people to go there. I want to save people from going to hell. I want people to not have, you know, blood on their hands and head, and, you know, fight the good fight, be the watchman on the tower, and go out there, and, you know, everybody can be God's friend. We can all do it in our own little capacity, and just one-on-one, wherever you meet people, strangers, friends, family, wherever. And you could talk to people, open up conversation, just ask questions, inspire thought, instigate thought, provoke thought in people, and try to, you know, get them away from prescribing to that ignorance is bliss philosophy. See, if I can help people to believe in universal absolute freedom, then that will bring me happiness. You understand? Because this is not the kind of thing you go alone. If it was the kind of thing you go alone, I would have gone alone. And I would have just made a vast fortune and said, screw you all, okay? Because I know I'm a smart enough guy to do that. It's just that that doesn't float my boat. You understand? That doesn't do it for me. What does it for me is to fight against the establishment, these powers that be, that would just destroy all the values I cherish, destroy Americanism and capitalism and everything good, prosperity and safety, security and freedom and contentment for everybody, happiness. So I get a lot from making these videos. Porn star Stormy Daniels. Okay. Oh my God, this thing's got to backfire on these people. If Trump had an affair with him, he ought to just come out and say it. Okay, he doesn't have to talk about the money his attorney paid and say, you know what, screw you, that's nobody's business. He did it as a friend. Yeah, he was loaded. He had $130,000 and he was trying to save his friend from a lot of embarrassment. So he paid her this hush money. Trump needs to talk about it. If he gets deposed on this idiot lawyer representing Stormy Daniels got dollar signs in his eyes. He wants some big fat ass blackmail payment from Trump. I don't know what this guy's waiting for. He says, well, hey, if she got $130,000, maybe I can get $130 million. I mean, that's how a lot of